Everybody, welcome back to Simply Sarissa. Today I am actually going to do a kind of chatty get ready with me because, as many of you might know, the Sephora VIB sale is starting up. Actually, I think it starts today for Rouge members, and then for the rest of us it kind of starts off in the next week or so. But through the whole time of the sale you can get the Sephora line 30% off. You don't need a code, you don't need anything. And I actually have quite a few Sephora products that I love, not to mention all the other stuff. So let's just get right into what I'm going to start with today for my makeup. I actually have Sephora clippies for my hair. I had looked on Amazon and couldn't find what I wanted, so a while back I found some Sephora ones, and it was a 4-pack, and I just absolutely love them. I use them all the time, especially if my hair's already done. And then I'm going to talk about a couple of the facial sprays that I have. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm obsessed, love facial sprays, and I had to purchase these both while I was traveling. I had forgotten them, and I actually love them both. The Mario Bedescu, they have different scents. This one is the rose and aloe, and then I have the Herbivore rose hibiscus. So I'm just going to use one right now, and I'll use one when I'm done with my makeup. But I love just spraying it because I already have my moisturizer and stuff on. I might do a follow-up video because I realized I have so many skincare and hair care products that I purchased at Sephora. So I will do that probably in a second video. This would last an hour if I did both together. I'm also going to put in the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. And as you can see, I have the little mini. I got it with my points just to test it. And I've worn this, oh my gosh, probably for the last couple weeks now, almost every day. And it still has a bunch in it. I really love it. I did a video a while back on one of their other sunscreens. It was kind of like a CC cream, and it was not for me. But this Unseen sunscreen is incredible, and it's so weightless, and it doesn't leave any kind of a cast on your face. I just love it. I love how it feels, and it kind of works as a primer for me. So really good, especially going into summer and going into like spring break and all of that. I also have a really old Sephora, like the actual pencil that you sharpen, in just like a nude color to me. And I like to put that in the waterline because I get older and my waterline gets more and more red. So I'm obviously going to need a new one of these really soon, so that's probably on my wish list. I don't really have a few things that I am in love with, including an eye primer and a concealer, so we'll talk about that when we get there. So I just like to put any kind of eye primer I have, I like to put it on a little bit early and let it dry down a little bit. All right, for my foundation, I'm actually going to use the Sephora Best Skin Ever today. I've had it for about almost a month now. I have dates on it. I bought it at the end of February, and the color I use is 25N. It's a tiny bit dark for my current skin, but it's going to definitely be perfect when I start getting a little bit of a tan. I'm just going to use a brush to kind of slap that on today. I really like it, and I love that it's going to be 30% off. And it kind of has more of a satin to matte finish. And it's definitely been one of my regulars in my rotation since I bought it. So we'll talk about favorites. Maybe I'll do a monthly favorites or a current favorites. But this is definitely one of two that I'm using daily. Like, you know, I kind of switch off between another one and this one. So as you can see, it's kind of evening everything out. And once I get it in, it kind of matches my neck really well, so I'm not super worried about the color at all. I don't like to put super full coverage foundations on, so you can see I still have like a little like kind of age spot mole that shows through a little bit, but I mostly just like it to even out my skin tone. And I think it works pretty well. I really like this. It lasts all day. It doesn't really get into my creases at all. And it doesn't wear weird. So I do like this. And it's so affordable. And then being an additional 30% off, you can't beat that right now. All right, so one of the things that I don't have a favorite of right now, and I need your guys' help, is a concealer. I am testing, let's see, the new, I believe, Lancome concealer right now. And I also have the Dior Forever that I'm just sort of using up. I bought it thinking it was going to be great, and it's okay, but I realized you have to use the tiniest amount, and if I don't put it on correctly, it will crease up in here really quickly. But it's, you know, I'm just using it up. It's just okay. So I'm not going to necessarily recommend that. Let's talk about brushes. You know I'm obsessed with the Angie Hot and Flashy brushes, especially for this under eye. But before I discovered these, I was using the Sephora Concealer Brush, which actually works well too. And if you look, it kind of is a similar concept. The only difference is this one is a little bit more round and fluffy, whereas hers kind of flattens out a little bit and fans out a little more, as you can see. But they're both good. So for today, I'll just use the Sephora one. They are really consistent brushes, and I have had others in the past. So if you are in the market for certain brushes and you are not able to get to the BK Beauty brushes, which they offer everything basically, Sephora also has some really great options. And if you go in store, then you know, you can choose whichever brushes. Now, as you can see, I still obviously have like bags under my eyes. So I guess I should probably admit why. I am at the age now where, unfortunately, if I sleep wrong, then that causes injuries. And so I did that the other night, and I have this huge knot in the back of my back that I can feel, and it's all the way up, so I can't turn my neck anymore. And lifting up my arm is super hard. So that's fun. Love being in my 40s. One thing I forgot to put on, but I don't do it every day anyway, is the Tarte. I have the light medium, the corrector, and I obviously probably should have put that on. Didn't do it today though, so that's okay, but I do like it. It is good. It's very creamy. Little goes a really long way, and I like it better than the Becca one that had kind of disappeared and then come back. The Becca one is very shiny. This one is not, and so this one works good. It has a really peachy color so that it corrects pretty well. As far as my powder, I think today I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Man, this stuff lasts forever. I do have other powders that I use, but this one, I've probably had it too long. I think it says 12 months, and not gonna admit how long I've had this powder, but it's still going strong. It's great. And you know, it works good, and you can actually use it under your under eye. I'm going to use a wet blender just to get under my under eye today, and this is a Nikkia Joy one that I am using right now, and once it actually is done, I already purchased a beauty blender, so this is highly recommended for Sephora during the sales. Love beauty blenders. And then make sure you get their blender cleansers. They really work well for the blender cleansers. I do have another hack, and it's in an old video on how to clean your blender, or excuse me, your beauty blenders without those. I'll link that below, but I do really like these cleansers. They work really well. So I'm just gonna kind of like do, not a bake, but just sort of pack that underneath just to kind of mute it out a lot. And then I'll use a brush for the rest of my powder my T-zone really well. The rest of my face doesn't seem to need it, and it just depends on what kind of blush and bronzer I'm gonna use. But I overall do that. And then I do like to put a little bit of powder if I'm using kind of like a sticky eyeshadow base, because I am not very good at eyeshadow. And so I noticed that if it's really sticky and I lay it on there, I can't blend, and that's just user error. So I've discovered this way just sort of helps a little bit. We're gonna go with a little bit of eyeliner now, and I have very hooded eyes, and so I need all the real estate I can get. And so I found these Sephora retractable eyeliners, and they actually have the little squishy, if you can see that, at the back end, so that you can kind of smudge if you're trying to do a smoky eye. I love it. I love that they work really well this way. I have had, oh, and they also have sharpeners too, so really great setup. I have like a really pretty smoky gray. Let's see if you can see that. It's a really dark smoky gray, but then I have a chocolate brown because I like using brown a little bit better than black for my skin tone on my eyes. What I found though is when I tried to use the like sharpening ones, like the style of pencils that are kind of like these, I end up scratching my eye a lot, and I just don't like that. So I like to actually just get these retractable ones, and I just put a little bit at the lash line just to kind of thicken it up and give me that darkness without like stealing a lot of real estate up here. And I found that these don't transfer very badly at all, and they hold up for the rest of the day really good. So if you wanted to, of course, you could line and then, second time I've thrown something, smudge really well. All right, so now that I have that, let's discuss eyeshadows. So there's two that I'm obsessed with, and these are generally my absolute go-to favorites. You can tell because they're disgusting and dirty. I love, love, love the Sephora Eye Love Palette, and I have it in the color Light Cool, and I believe full price, they're only $14. So let me open this up and show you. And of course the top has a full mirror, and you can see how well loved it is. But it's just a perfect palette to take and go, and you can do just about anything with it because this is dark enough to line with if you need to, but then it has a great transition shade and just a lighter shade, and these three are shimmers, and I've actually mixed all of them before. I love them, and this is just a very like white kind of powder, but it doesn't translate too white on your skin, so you can use it to lighten things up on your brow bone and all of that. So I'm actually going to put my eyebrows on first just because that helps me when I do put my eyeshadow on. And I'm not going to torture you, but I do use the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I can't see the color, Taupe. That's what I'm using today. And again, Sephora always carries all the best of these. So let me put this on and I'll come right back. All right, eyebrows are done. I love that pencil. Again, I love how thin it is and that it's retractable, so it travels well and all of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Light Cool palette, and I am, of course, using all my Angie Hot and Flashy brushes. I basically not stopped using them ever since I got them. So let's see, what are we gonna do first? Let's do a quick little transition shade. I'm going to do not the lightest color, but the kind of medium one, which is, let's see, where are we? This one right here, I'm gonna use as like a transition shade. And I've been kind of just going straight in lately above here and starting like this because I have such hooded eyes that I think I learned this trick from Katie Jane Hughes maybe, or was it actually Lisa J? I've been watching both of them a lot lately. I get confused. But anyway, I'm going in straight on because if I go and do this whole lift and go, it puts it still way too low for me. And so I just need to kind of create this little bit of darkness right here to kind of push this back. So again, I just kind of go back and forth and I do both sides. Again, I am not good at makeup, so, you know, I'm just going to be really honest here. These are just like little things I've been learning over the last few years to kind of hopefully look my best and do a little better job on makeup than I have in the past. Okay, so here's that. And then, let's see, let's go in with, I love this brush. It is the A501, and I'm going to slap on like the lighter middle shade of this Light Cool. And I'm just going to lay it down right on my whole lid to kind of lighten that up a little bit and give it some depth. Let's see. I absolutely love, love, love this palette, and it's starting to age out, so I am going to need to purchase a new one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to try to hold off on this sale and get it in the one in the fall, or if I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and get it, because 30% off $14, like I said, you cannot beat that deal. Now that I have that lid color on, I'm gonna go back through and put a little bit of that really, really light color underneath my brow bone, and I'm gonna use the Angie 504 brush, which is kind of like a blender brush, but it's very small. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna take that really light white shade that has like the biggest square, and I'm gonna put that just very carefully underneath the brow bone, just to highlight that part right there a little bit. I have to be super careful with this though, because again, like you can just see how big my brow bone is already, and I don't need a lot of that. But this brush is small enough that I can actually pop in some color here too if I really wanted to, and sort of just bring some lightness to that. So I do like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use the 505, and I'm going to take today, I think because I want to use a certain color lip, I'm going to take this more like purpley shade and just slap a little bit of that glitter right on the center of my eyelid, just to kind of bring a little bit of light to it and kind of blend it inwards a little. And I'm not putting a lot on because this is, I mean, this is just daytime. So I think I'm actually going to take this 504 brush again, and I'm going to take the darker of the shades and just run it along underneath my lash line a little bit, kind of like smudgy. And then I'm going to brush it off to get as much of the color off as possible. And I'm going to just like lightly run it like that to kind of smudge it and get it a little bit lower. Now I'm going to take the same brush and put just a tad at the edges here just to kind of give it a little bit of depth and bring that all together. I absolutely love this palette. For my skin tone, it just works really well, but they do have the other shades, and that's what I love about this little palette. You can actually find one to match your skin tone and your favorite shades that you like to use. So it's just super affordable, and I just love how you can just find what you need for that. So it works really well. Okay, I think I better just quit while I'm ahead. All right, the next thing I wanted to mention though quickly, as I pointed it out, is this Tarte lip palette. Tarte Lip in Bloom, the original. Oh my gosh, again, this one's starting to get low. If you can see that, obviously I have some favorites, but this is, oh, between these two, it's really difficult to say which one is my favorite because this one has even more options. You can warm up your look, and then it has even darker shades. So, oh gosh, this thing is, it's just too good, so good. So to get a really good discount on this Tarte lip palette, and then you can't beat the packaging on this thing. It's just gorgeous. It holds up so well. It's like indestructible, and it's still small enough to travel. So those are my two recommendations. If you are looking for palettes and you like neutral colors, look at those two options. Now let's talk about, this is definitely on my list. I'm going to be purchasing this, and I don't know if I want to get the small one or the big one because this is the small Nars Laguna. I actually had this as like a birthday gift, and I held on to it, and I used it all last spring, all last summer, well into the fall, and I used it completely up. So this lasted me probably like 9 months of using it every single day. So 9 months is pretty good of an everyday use for Laguna, and it is like my perfect like tan color for, you know, tan bronzing color. So I think I'm going to purchase a small one again right now, and then it's going to carry me all the way through like this fall, and I should be fine. So I'm currently having to use something else. I'm just using actually a Milani one right now, but that is definitely on my wish list, and I'm going to be purchasing it during the sale this time. So I'll just go ahead and pop on some bronzer really quick. I do like this Milani one, and I have it in the Sunkissed. It's the number 2, and it works really well for me during the winter time. So, you know, I don't mind having this at all. It definitely works, you know, for my different seasons. So it's a really good one, and it's definitely more of a matte bronzer. So I do like that because then I'm not like adding any like super shine to my face when I don't want it. I can add my shine later if I need something else. So yeah, this is working really good, but I do definitely miss the Laguna, and I'm definitely going to need that shade during summertime. Okay, now let's move on into blush. I have 3 blushes to mention that you can get at Sephora that I literally use all the time. First, I'm going to talk about a cream blush. So if you're into cream products, people stopped talking about this, and it's so incredible. Milk cream blushes are absolutely amazing, and these small ones last you forever. I'm not going to tell you how long I've had this one, but this one is in the color werK, W-E-R-K, and I love it because obviously travel friendly. You can dot it on and then just do it with your fingers, especially if you're going for that like really glowy creamy look. But I have used this over all my powdered products before with just a brush similar to this. This one is like a Real Techniques, but Angie Hot and Flashy also has you know, one of these types of brushes as well that you could use, but I like the denser ones for this cream blush. I just rub it on there and rub it right on. It is so good if you're looking for a cream blush, and really the smaller one works and lasts forever. So don't think you have to buy the big one of this, but werK is a beautiful like summery, awesome, just really nice shade. And I've actually used this for a lip color as well, especially if you're traveling and you want to minimize products. So good. I highly recommend that. The other two colors are the Buxom in Seychelles. This is the primer infused blush, and I have talked about this before in one of my last favorites several months ago. This does have a little bit of a sheen and a shimmer to it. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a very beautiful light blush, and I love traveling with this one as well because I don't necessarily have to have a highlight if I use this in Seychelles, and it's just a really pretty neutral color that just, oh, love that. And then of course the Tarte in Party, which is spelled with 3 A's. You see how much I love this bad boy. So pretty. Let's see if I can find room here for it. It's, again, just a soft, really neutral, pretty color. I think today I'm going to actually use Buxom because the Tarte is a matte shade, and I don't want to use a lot of highlighter today. So I'm actually going to use that one, and I just like to use it. I'll just use the Angie Hot and Flashy brush today. I am going to just load that up a little bit. And then I'm going to place it a little bit higher. I've been trying to do that a lot lately just to kind of lift my cheeks. And it's so pretty. So pretty. I love it. I love it. And I love that it's neutral enough that I can go with almost any lip color or eye look with this. And it adds just enough shimmer and sheen that it looks like I have a little bit of a highlight and a little bit of a glow, but I don't. And I just keep on piling it on because I can't stop myself. All right. Yeah, I like that. So good. Buxom or Tarte or Milk. All right, now let's talk about lips really quickly. This is the lip product that I hate to love. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Lip Cheat, I guess? No, Iconic Nude. It's the Iconic Nude True Lip Pencil that you have to sharpen, and that's why I hate to love this thing. It genuinely changes my lips. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's the perfect nude for me. I have zero complaints with the color or the formula. However, I have only had this for a couple of months, and look how low it is. I have to constantly sharpen it, and it doesn't sharpen the best. So once it starts to wear down, it actually can scratch my lips with the little like pencil marks. And I have tried multiple sharpeners, so it's kind of frustrating, but love it. And I know I'm gonna buy another one. So this is definitely in my cart right now. And I love it because I can overline a bit if I want, and it kind of looks like I got a little bit of a lip plumper, even though it doesn't do that at all. And oh gosh, it's so good. So what I'm gonna do today is actually fill in my lips with it, and then because I'm just using a gloss over. Let me know in the comments below, do you like Charlotte Tilbury products? And if you do, which ones are your favorite? But look at that color. It's so like perfect for my lips. All right, and then gloss. Let's talk gloss. I love Buxom products, and so the two that I have, of course, here we go. I have the lip cream in Sugar Drop. I'm not even sure that's still a color option. And I have the shiny one in Dolly, which is like hands down beautiful, amazing. And so since I did a cool eye look today, I'm going to use Dolly because it is on the cooler side. And to me, it's one of those colors that it just is really universally flattering, but it also is kind of that trendy, on the trendy side right now, with that like purpley shade. But look at that. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So yes, and it is the lip plumping one. It does have a little bit of that tingle, but not bad. I love it. I've had this color for years. It's always in my makeup set. And this one actually is probably like 2/3 of the way gone. So this is also gonna go in my cart too. And they kind of have this like slight vanilla yummy smell. Love. So the two mascaras that I highly recommend are the Benefit Roller Lash. Absolutely love this. This is always in my kit as well. And I'm out of this, actually. I had to pull this out of my empties bin. So this is going in my cart. I will have one of these because I don't have any more, I don't think. No. And so that one is just so good. I just fell in love with it. But I got this for my birthday, and I am really impressed. I love this. And I did not get the waterproof if there is one, and I'm having zero issues with this. I love this. So this is definitely something to consider. But I will say you have to know these brushes. I'm sure you've seen that before. It's extremely unique style of brush that you have to kind of get used to, but it works really well and just feathers out your lashes. I'm going to use this today. If that's not your gig, I would recommend the Mercier Big. It's really great from Sephora as well, but you can purchase these everywhere, you know that, but it's really good to get these on a deal. These ones, of course, have the huge little brushes, and because my eyes are so deep set, I'm finding that I'm having a harder and harder time using these. So even though it's amazing mascara, definitely waterproof, currently this is kind of my go-to, and then when I run out of this, I'll kind of swap back and forth between this and the roller lash. So let me get that on and we'll finish up. Of course, I forgot. I said I was going to use my facial sprays. Now I forgot which one I used first. I think I used the Herbivore first. I want to spray this on my face before I put my mascara on because it's just, to me, a better habit. And I'm using my crazy Amazon fan. So let's get this one on. And really, facial sprays are just, you know, a matter of your personal choice. I love using them. I feel like they work really well. And yeah, they just sort of blend my makeup in a little bit more if I put a little bit too much powder on. So I like that feeling. And personally, during the winter time, I was having such a hard time with my skin getting really dry, and that's why I had to buy these, because I didn't think to pack them when I traveled and my skin was like a raisin. So I had to hurry up and grab these on 2 different trips, and so now I'm kind of never without them. Lesson learned. What I've been doing is just sort of holding at it at an angle that kind of goes up, and I just sort of blink down on it. And you can wiggle it if you want. I just did one pass on one eye so you could see the difference. Like, look at that. I did use an eye primer, or excuse me, a mascara primer. I think I'm using the L'Oreal one right now, but the Lancome one is obviously just as good. But look at that. I mean, that's just one eye, one pass. That's crazy. So let's get the second one on. And then I'm honestly feeling like I don't need to go back and do a second round. So you can load it if you want with a shorter brush and kind of just get some in there. And then flip it to like the bigger one. Sorry, I can't talk and do mascara at once. But it is so good. I feel like it kind of like fans out your lashes a little bit and makes them just like more fluttery looking. I don't know. Feathery, is that the word? Because this is such like a lightweight formula, I basically just sort of go like that and get it on my lower lashes. And I'm having no transfer, no issues throughout the day, which I used to have that really, really bad. But oh my goodness, look at that, just once. Unbelievable. Love that. All right. So here's finished look for the day. I hope that this video was helpful to you, you know, because there's so many, this is almost like white noise at this point. There's just so many options to watch videos with Sephora hauls and makeup gurus. But, you know, sometimes for the rest of us, it's like, what do we all wear and how does it all work, you know? So I hope that this helped a little bit. I'm going to leave links to everything that I talked about below, and I will do a follow-up video on all of like the skincare and the hair care products. I probably won't use most of those on, I'll just kind of chat about that, but that'll come really soon too, because like I said, you can buy the Sephora products right now for 30% off, but right now the sale is only running for Rouge members, which have to spend like an exorbitant amount of money at Sephora to get to that level, and unfortunately I'm not there yet. I don't know that I ever will be. So my sale starts in the VIB section, but again, anybody can sign up and you can immediately become like an insider and get the 10% off in about a week or so. All right, until next time, see you soon.